cash is like actually available, we'll actually have that money.
But won't we still have to communicate that they need money?
Wouldn't we still have to go through an Althing, right? Like,
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to do that
so
anyway.
we haven't been doing that though.
The difference is like a cash box is a lower barrier than getting money out of the bank. For whatever reasons, whether it should be or not, it is.
It has been restored.
Yeah.
Missy?
So I have something to say about that. Recently, the Monarch has been trying to spend their discretionary 10% that they do not need ratified by the land, by an Althing. They are allowed to spend up to 10%, and they have not been able to get the funds.
For the purpose of
Doesn't
For the
matter.
purpose
It's
of Amp Guard.
discretionary.
Like,
At
water,
any
to
point, you can
buy
spend 10%
water for
without
the park.
resulting in
It is supposed to be the monarch's discretion. That's why it's discretionary. But there are barriers in the way for doing that.
For the through. To them. Like that's something they should
Open
be able
to
to do.
all.
I know I know Q's not like the best example of a great monarch here, but every time Q tried to get access to that 10%, he was frustrated. He lived with me at the time. I remember hearing him constantly complain about it for stuff as simple as printing awards.
But
Like,
just to bring it back to like this reign, like we've been talking about buying a wagon for like months now, but like ain't no money materialized from the people who either hold the checkbooks or claim to have access to the money.
Okay, even though I don't like being recorded at the moment, I'm going to fucking speak.
Hey, I need you to watch your language, Jack. We're trying to have a civil
I
conversation.
understand.
Also,
need
I
you
wasn't done
actually-
talking, Jack, but by all means, you got the floor now, buddy.
I'm sorry. I already said I didn't want to be recorded. But as for this conversation about war wagons, the conversation came up. It did not go to Althing. Jason and Sweet Chunk then had a conversation between the two of them. Decided that it was part of their 10% because it was something that they were buying for the land, for the benefit of the land, but never turned around and asked the PM afterwards because Jason was handing off the PM duties for the money. So if they don't ask for the money,
Jason
how
was
can they get that to them?
Jason was PM for a few weeks after we had that discussion. He never materialized the money. When I talked to him about it, he was like, "You're gonna have to talk to Daciana about it." And then he introduced me to Daciana, and that was the last we talked about it.
It is very hard for a prime minister to give funds that have been approved if you don't tell them how much you are needing and when you need it at.
so she doesn't have a paper trail.
This topic has nothing to do with the BOD.
That's true.
My point was, it's like we're bleeding money on the BOD.
Which can
That's
be
where that
fixed.
started.
Which has been pointed out to be fixed as a counter.
And I was just pointing out that was the last thing that was actually tried to be brought out of Althing. That's something Priest brought back years ago. I've also tried to bring other things to Althing like that countless times in the past. Sash boxes, things for the park, cones. They were all given and donated by other people, other lands. I've even asked people in Shrouding this to do those things, and I've been on red. And I've asked other people to do it, and they've done it.
Which is extremely frustrating, and I understand that, Miller, but right now this is about the dissolving of the corporation
But I'm
because
just saying, the
those
point I was
things
making
aren't
is that,
BODs
decisions
saying no.
That go up to the BOD, or the BOD stopping that, or funds.
They don't
It
go to the
stops
BOD,
things
they
like
go to
that.
Althing.
It stops us having those. But that's what I'm saying. If there's no BOD, there's no all things, no real.
You still have to
No, Monarchy does all
saying that
things.
It's not the BOD, but the BOD has literally told Sweet Chunk he wasn't allowed to use the money for what he wanted to use it for. That
because
it
he was
was
trying
illegal and
to
they
pay
wouldn't allow it.
people to drive.
I was trying to put gas into a tank for a carpool from going from this park to our other park. It was open to anybody who wanted to show up to give their ride in the carpool.
Outlaw was there.
I sat out.
We voted on that actually, right?
No,
Gordon, what you got? Gordon's got the floor.
How much money do we actually have in that bank?
About $2,300.
We'll be doing those after the...
Okay.
And we. And
So
to be
what is
fair,
10% of
I printed it out for you.
I'm... How much did that cost? I don't know, how much were we talking about?
can I finish my statement, please?
Well, no, I mean for any of these, really. The cart was,
Hang on.
I think I heard 150. The gas, what were we talking for the gas fund?
The gas fund was like $45.
Okay, so $40. I mean, I hate to say it. That's all. I mean, he could have taken both of that and still been under 10 any single thing.
Yes,
If you
and
don't like the 10%, write it out of your damn quorum.
and Kathira, you are correct. You guys did offer to pay that out of pocket, but that wasn't the point of this. Offering to pay it out of pocket and circumventing the monarch's ability to use it is not the same thing. Yes, Jack.
Now,
Understand you are still being recorded.
I do understand I'm still being recorded. I still disdain from it, but I have to fucking speak.
This is your second language warning, Jack. Please don't make me get to a third.
Language warning's out. Come on. Let's just do this.
Well,
This is
it needs to be civil.
My apologies. My apologies. But when we did discuss about the funds, we did give you other options of how to go about it, as a reimbursement, so you could take it to Althing, or to set a different date so you could go to Althing first and have SM authorize the funds.
I don't require Althing authorization to use my monarchy discretionary funds.
For the
Betterment of the park. Moving our members from this park to our satellite park to support our satellite park. How is that not for the betterment of not just our park, but our satellite park as well?
My experience with DFE is why it goes to Althing.
Thank you, Gordon. I'm sorry. I will get to you. I will get to you next. No.
No, I mean, my statement was, it seems like what we're having an issue with here is that we have a disagreement between the monarchy and certain members and other positions of what is and isn't of benefit to the park.
I mean, in that specific instance,
That's
yes.
not really up for discussion. We elected a monarch, and therefore, he gets to decide what is.
Which is
that
not
10%
pertinent to the
benefit.
discussion of the BOD because it's
Except
park
when the
level.
BOD stands in the way of it happening.
interjection is also stopped.
They're talking about culture,
That's
not.
the point being debated here, right?
Kind of a couple things I'd like to mention.
Which isn't
Number
meant to
one,
take
like
any
I think
side.
the first thing is, like it was mentioned a second ago about what's happening with the money and people not getting it. Right now, like I said, let's leave that out of the conversation because all it's doing is people pointing fingers at other people, and no matter what, no matter who's holding the money, you're still going to run into that finger pointing. So it's a good thing to leave that out of it because it has. And the second thing I want to mention is the BODs. Like I remember years ago, I know I was a part of the BOD in our original days, and one thing when we created the BODs, we kind of had to have them because there was no NL, there was nothing else. There was what I think it was just us and IO. That's it.
Principality. Right?
We had nothing, so we had to have a BOD back then. Situations change now. We got the access to other stuff. So either way we go with it, it's not the same situation as it was years ago when we had to. So the other thing I'd like to bring at least a suggestion. I don't know if you want to vote it to the next whole thing about access to money and stuff. Why can't we have a little cash box with that 10% at least coming in the park?
Regardless of whichever way this
Yeah,
vote goes,
regardless
bring
of
the 10%
whichever way it goes, have that cash box with that 10% available every week.
No, but that's.
$230.
Yeah,
Less than what you have in the box now.
And you'd only refresh it on the monthly, which keeps you under that discretionary monthly period. You know what? I like that. Regardless of how this vote goes, that's actually not a terrible plan.
Somebody put a pin in that. Save that idea for after this vote, so we can discuss that as well. Show, yes.
Your idea, you get the truck.
All right, so I'm going to circle around to one of the questions Het brought up because everybody kind of stepped over it. One of the differences, and this has nothing to do with money, one of the differences not having an MPO for this group is that we actually have to mosey up there because as an MPO, we don't have to mosey up there. We're technically always signed and allowed to use. Our monarchy has to then go up there and sign out this for,
I don't know why
3
I'm not
months.
comfortable with Joe
months
saying
to come.
Mosey.
Because I had to do that back in the day when I was monarch.
Yeah, it's just we're gonna have to change.
We just have to not be lazy. That's it.
Bring it to all things.
I find your use of Mosey to be offensive, apparently.
Wait, what do you mean by
I'm
Mosey?
totally offensive.
What do you mean by Mosey?
It means that we have to walk up to that building over there
Inside.
and sign.
So why
And then we
wouldn't
get
be able
a
to do
document that is
under
like a punch card almost
And now
that
has to
says
do it.
we have access to this section of the field, and or then we have to go up there if we want to go play in the park, back in the woods or something. We have to go up there and get them to sign off on us having access to that.
But
So
how's that a unique benefit to being our own
So
independent?
when we have, as we've done right goes up there right now. Right now.
No one has to go up there right
Well,
now.
No. Yeah.
But if they needed something, it would be Monarch goes up there and talks to them, and then it's fine. Now it would have to be if it was dissolved and if we no longer had SM Corporation, it would not be Sweet Chunk going up there. It would be
The king.
Murphy.
Why would it?
No.
Yeah.
It would be the monarch of this land, because
Oh.
when I was monarch, and I know when Bobby was monarch, I'm not speaking for you, I just remember being there when you signed off. You go up there, you get their sign-off card that they have, and it says the dates that you're allowed to be back here.
Okay.
We just make sure we have our Sundays taken care of for 3 months.
Okay.
And then every 3 months we go up and, oh, it's mid-range, I gotta go get my car.
Okay.
Why would that change though?
Because MPO, we don't have to walk up there, we automatically have access to it.
But why would that change if we were under NLs?
Because it's our group that's doing that. We don't have to have NL involved with Sprinklr.
If we wanted to not have to go up there, then we'd have to have NL involved for the NPO check-in.
But I mean, that's one small thing.
Yeah, we're just
Yeah,
talking
right,
about
and-
going
Yeah.
We
to
could
that
also
building.
have
But it's still
someone
fair to put it out.
Basic,
as
no,
a
no, no.
legal
It-
representative of NL.
It's absolutely right. That is a change, and Murphy would have to agree to go up there and do it, or whoever the king is,
Or a
not
king
throwing you on the
officer.
bus or under the bus.
To make it so that way it's a blanket.
No, I'm speaking to the recorder.
Small, simple, little bits that
That's
just.
something that we could easily
It is a valid point, and we need valid points because right now what we've got is a whole lot of people angry at each other for other things. These are actually valid things that need to be addressed. Is it a simple address? Yeah, probably, but it isn't as of yet, so it doesn't need to be brought up.
What you got, Het?
So as I'm kind of understanding it, if we, to kind of like synopsis, I guess, if we go and we're moving to dissolve, we will gain potentially around approximately $200 because we're not having to pay the business license, we're not having to pay the bank account, and we haven't gone through since our BOD has been kind of defunct already, for whatever fucking reason. That means that as the BOD goes, if BOD
Oh, Het,
basically
I'm gonna have to
goes
warn you
away,
about your
the
language.
bank account has to go away as well, right? Because the bank account is tied to our EIN, which is tied to our
Business license, yes.
business
So
license.
this specific bank account, yes, most likely.
So
But like,
it has to
the-
go to something place else. Like, I'm not trying
Yeah.
to say yes or no, I'm just wanting to know the steps.
yeah,
The BOD has been trying to switch bank accounts for years though.
Okay,
Right,
and they haven't
but
been
if
allowed
we
They
to.
haven't been able to. They've chosen to and then not done it multiple times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever was getting in the way of it happening, we're not sure, but
Yeah, okay, cool. So that,
could be.
But this specific bank account would have to be closed out due to the impact of EIN. And at that point, the populace could vote to go to another bank account,
yeah,
which
credit union or some shit.
credit union would be the best place for us to go at that point for not having that monthly fee if we wanted the bank account.
Okay.
And that's still a possibility, even if we're not an NPO.
Right.
okay.
I hear there's just hoops to jump through.
There's
And-
a lot of hoops to jump through because the reason that Shrouding Mist has it is because it has its own EIN. If you take away the EIN and you try to open up your own bank account, then you're putting it into the hands of a specific person.
Just the same as
Or
handling
we,
cash box.
or we could open up under the NL at their bank. There are hoops to jump through, but it is a thing that can be done.
Okay, so we're saying that if we are moving to dissolve, we're going to have to jump. There's a procedure of hoops to jump through.
Yes.
And at the end of the hoops to jump through,
We can decide
SM
to keep the money in the cash box. or
would
go
have
to
the
a
money in a
bank
cash box on hand, no BOD, so that means that the money is handled by the PM, and that's it.
And the monarch has the monarch's discretion.
And the monarch has the monarch's discretion. So
And
the money
there
would
was some talk
only.
about contracts that would stipulate what would happen.
Yeah, there are fiduciary responsibility.
That means that there's just one person who's responsible, so that might need.
There,
Generally, the fiduciary responsibilities are signed by both the monarch and the PM.
Yeah. Okay. So.
I still haven't found yours yet.
So
I haven't been.
stuff that I-
Larche never
okay,
presented me with anything.
I am a serpent. Like, I do crafting.
We had you and then you. I'm not forgetting you. Yes.
I guess to reiterate a question that like Hard Place mentioned earlier, like right now, like as it stands, the pro getting rid of it, it stands at